You know what's great about Elden Ring as a fan of the Souls series? It seems to incorporate a bunch of what was good in previous titles and fits them in nicely here. Power sensing, armors giving various stat benefits, and an array of eclectic other things, but there's a few things that I'm missing in Elden Ring that were previously in Soulsborne games that I would have loved to see. Today we're going to be looking at various things that were present previously, but unfortunately were missing in Elden Ring. The fact you can only have 4 people in a world at a given time really takes a step backwards compared to Dark Souls 3. In that game you could have 6 players in a session at any given time, with a wide range of what type of matchup you could potentially encounter, 3v3, 4v2 or even 5v1. In Elden Ring, if you invade and the host has 2 buddies, it turns into a 3v1 situation, and you know it's impossible for you to get backup. This gets amplified further when hosting fight clubs. You can only have 2 red duelists in your world at a time, whereas in 3 you could have 5. This slows down the flow of these activities. Now, I understand how having more than 4 people in a world, with all the crazy effects of the spells, it'll get pretty out of hand, and it may have some serious effect on performance in the open world, so maybe that's why they didn't do it. But honestly, I really miss having the organized chaos of having 6 people in your world at a given time. Oh no, something from Dark Souls 2. Believe it or not, I really loved the bonfire aesthetic system from Dark Souls 2. If you're unaware of what this was, basically you could choose a bonfire to rest at, use the bonfire aesthetic in that area, and that would make that area 1 New Game Plus cycle higher. I think this would work quite well in Elden Ring. I've yet to jump into New Game Plus, as I feel like it's just such a monumentous task in Elden Ring with how giant the scope is. But if I had the ability to, say, make Limgrave New Game Plus while the rest of the map is still on New Game, I think that would work quite nicely. Now, if you're going to disagree with anything I say today, it's most likely going to be this. I love Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne. Again, we'll explain for the people who might not be familiar. In Bloodborne, you had these things that were called Chalice dungeons. These were split up into 2 types. One type was a set number of dungeons which had a set layout, a set boss at the end, and a set reward, which is basically what we have in Elden Ring now. The type I'm interested in is the randomly generated dungeons that the Chalice dungeons offer. These have random layouts, random bosses, and random rewards, and I love the roguelike elements of this. Now, these worked in Bloodborne because at the end you'd get blood gems, which offered a random and varying set of upgrades to your character. And they even had unique enemies and certain enemies that weren't discovered until years after the game's release. I know a lot of people didn't like these in Bloodborne, which honestly, fair enough. For me, they were there if I didn't particularly know what to do, so I'd just grind these dungeons, and as someone who, like I said, likes roguelikes, they were perfect. If these random dungeons were in the game, I'm not really sure what the rewards would be. The first thing that came to mind was a weapon and random upgrades, but that's not really exciting. We spoke about this to death, so I'll quickly go over it. Adding a progression system to the PvP that's just purely cosmetic is a great incentive to do the PvP, and it's something Elden Ring is severely lacking. And it rewards that section of the community. In Dark Souls 2, your chosen hue would glow brighter the more victories you had under your belt. Please, From Software, please bring this back. Please, I'm literally begging you. This was so good. Now, this is something that's probably coming down the line, but I was surprised we didn't get it off the bat. An arena has always come with DLC, but with Dark Souls 2, that was in the game from the get-go. Let's face it, it's most likely going to be situated here. And please, add the progression system to the arena as well. Please, 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 please. Sticking with the PvP, I really love the bell towers in Dark Souls 2. These areas were dedicated PvP areas, and if you were a part of the Bell Tower Covenant and someone came into that area, you would be summoned to fight them. It was a perfect place for players who wanted to PvP to hang out. Similar to the balcony after the Pontiff's fight in Dark Souls 3, more areas that cater to each player and what they want to do is a good thing in these games. And last but not least, catalyst weapons. These are weapons or shields in the game that can also cast spells and incantations. Dark Souls 2 had a fair bit and they were awesome. As I like to play through the games as a paladin, having a shield that could cast miracles felt amazing. It's not uncommon for From Software to add new weapon types into their games with DLC, so I'm hoping for more ways to cast these amazing spells that they've given us. Oh, one last thing actually, I would love to see an actual beast form like in Bloodborne. I think the premise is there, but to actually turn into a wolf would be so much fun. Maybe give the beast form a boost to bestial spells or something like that. That would be awesome. Got anything to add? I asked this question in my Discord server and got some interesting responses. One person even said they liked adaptability. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe down below. The channel is doing so well recently, so thank you guys so much for that. I've been Paragon, take care, be good to one another, and I'll see you next time.